Hey, you guys! It's your favorite little keto goofball diamond, and today marks 5 years, 354 days of my ketogenic journey that has been both amazing and topsy-turvy. For those of you who are new here, I have used keto to lose 155 pounds. I found some of it back through poor choices and a demanding life and a stressful life and just, a normal life. So this is a realistic channel journey. I tell you everything that's going on and how I'm handling it, how I plan to handle it, and everything in between. Had a little bit of a scary moment earlier today. I'll tell you about that too. And I'm going to tell you about my new job, how I feel about it, and how it's going so far. And you know how we do. I sit down, I tell you the color of my guts pretty much. But anyway, we're going to get right into it. And I just want y'all to know, I did film last night. I filmed, I uploaded. It was late. I had to be up at 4 a.m. And I was like, that was crazy silly. That was Jim Carrey version of my ketogenic journey. Maybe I shouldn't make that public, so I didn't. And plus it was 40 minutes long of me rambling very tiredly. So thought I'd do it a little bit better and hopefully not quite as long, although I know some of you are here for it, but that realistically didn't really say a lot in 40 minutes that you needed to hear. So we're going to start with everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell. It helps the channel grow. It's supposed to help. I don't really know, but I'm going to sit down and talk to my friends and we'll just see how it goes from here. Okay, so I went into my new job injured. I tried not to let it on. What had happened was, on Thursday I was getting out of the van. I had one of those big, gigantic steel coffee cups in my hand. And as I was opening the door, I dropped it. It hit my ankle bone with the rim of the cup. It's swollen, it's bruised. It doesn't hurt to walk on, but it throbs. It's definitely an achy, painy thing, and it's very swollen. Now, my other foot halfway matches that because I've been on my feet for 12 hours, 3 days in a row, which it's been since late February since I've done that sort of thing, and then steel toes nonetheless. But, yeah, I made it through. I'll tell you, the first day was all pretty much sitting down, so that saved me some. It was sitting down because it was, forklift training as far as book stuff goes. It's like a slideshow and this, that, and the other, and then you take this test, and you have to make at least an 80% to pass it. He told me, nobody's ever failed. And I'm like, oh, there's no pressure there because watch me be the first one to do it. But I didn't. And as he was grading, he did scare me. He's like, well, I'm sad to say you made a 97. Out of 50 questions, you missed one. So that's pretty awesome. And it's pretty basic stuff, things you need to know, worded funny so that they can make sure you're paying attention, I guess. And then we did that lasted like 5 or 6 hours. I won't lie. At some point he said, why don't we go to lunch? I was like, all right, bet, I'm starving. So I stood up, and that little catch in my back that hit me a couple weeks ago that was really, really painful, it locked up on me. And I tried to stand up. I was like, ah. And I'm trying not to show any pain because it's a new job. It's a new physically demanding job. So I'm like, I can't be in pain on my first day. I can't show that. I can't make it look like I'm going to be a weakling. Although I'm not that tough. We're going to be honest with you. But, I've got this ankle issue. I've got the catch in my back. And he goes to lunch in the same direction I do. So I'm like, okay. Act right. Don't limp. But my body was not acting right. And it had to limp for a few minutes to get straightened back out. Damn, not looking good already. So also going in, for some reason, the temp service I went through was under the impression that I had forklift experience, which I've never ever said. And I told them, I did not. But when I got there, he was also under the impression that I had forklift experience. I don't. Luckily, nobody who's I'm working with had experience when they started. So these are pretty good trainers, evidently. However, it didn't leave him a lot of time from the time we started the test and all that, and the learning process to actually train me. Initially, he'd wanted to train me on 4 different pieces of equipment that day, which was terrifying because he wasn't going to be. Management works Monday through Friday, and would be about half a day on Friday, but he stayed all day, poor fella, because you know how it is. When you get off at a certain time, you want to go home. Don't matter, you want to go home. But anyway, he wasn't going to be there. He's not going to be there the following Friday, nor is the supervisor going to be there the following Friday. So that would leave me in kind of a weird space. I kind of thought they were going to let me go because of this, to be honest with you, because they didn't have time to train me. And then I thought experience was kind of a necessity. Like I said, I talked to a couple of the other employees. They came in without any, and they were trained. So it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but I was a little afraid, to be honest. And I was like, my husband would have been perfect with this job. I should have sent him out here. Oh my God, I messed up. And then I had a little bit of practical training. I think he had about an hour to kind of get me on it and let me move around a little bit. I was a little scared. I was intimidated, to be honest with you. I was intimidated because it's a whole new ball game for me. I have no idea about this, and this is a stand-up lift at that. It's meant to be driven backwards. So you're driving this big heavy piece of machinery backwards. That might have a load on it that might be wide, and you've got to pay attention to where you're going. It turns out you can drive them forward too. In fact, I find it easier personally, but of course it depends on how tall the load is. You might not be able to see around it, and you might have to do that backwards thing. It's a whole thing. It's something I never would have ever imagined for myself that I would be attempting to do. I've never put any thought into it, really. I mean, it would be kind of cool, but I thought. But anyway, as the weekend wore on, the supervisor had a little time to train. I don't think he can certify, but just train. And I've gotten quite comfortable on it. For the most part, though, on Sunday, I spent about half the day on the forklift, but I still got 18,000 steps. So if that tells you, this building is gigantic. It's only about the size, width-wise, of like a Walmart food place, the grocery portion of it. But it's about 3 times longer, and maybe more. It might be about 5 times longer. This is a very long building. It's probably wider than I'm telling you too, but it's just a really big rectangle. So there was a lot of steps. I tried to do the best I could. Of course, again, it's been since late February since I've been on my feet that much. So I'm a little bit worn out, a little bit tired, really tired on Saturday. And Saturday, man, it was so hot in there. I told the girl as I was leaving, I said, all I want to do is get in the bathtub, get a bite to eat, and go to bed. I get into my car to leave the parking lot, and my husband texts me, there was a bad storm and the power's out. Are you serious? Are you really, really serious? Come on, and it wasn't expected to be back on till like 11:45. So, really? And then, so I come home and I tried just to go to sleep, but it was hot. I couldn't do it. About 9:30ish, the power kicked on. I jumped up and I went and got a bath. And I was like, thank heavens. And I got a bite to eat and I laid down. So, but I still got in bed kind of late because I got in the shower and everything kind of late. And I was a little concerned the next morning. See, you know how sometimes you'll have stuff in the refrigerator and it might be perfectly fine for 4 or 5 days. But then you think about the power going out. So the next morning I ate some sausage and cheese on keto bread. And I got a little queasy after that. So Sunday morning, I spent most of Sunday kind of queasy. I'm not sure if that's what done it or not, but that was what was like rotating in my brain. It's like, damn, that sausage might have been bad. And I still ate lunch. All 3 days I took a salad with chicken, ranch, cheese, and lettuce, and that was it. And all 3 days I had like a sausage and cheese sandwich at home before I left. And when I got home, I had a ham and cheese sandwich. I'm still not sure that bread's keto friendly. I can't really tell yet. And again, I didn't step on the scale until this morning. And no, it was this afternoon. I'm sorry. Your morning weigh-in is your better weigh-in. You've had a chance to rest and everything, but I didn't, because this morning, hubby went to the flea market this morning, and he's going tomorrow. And I like the Monday and Tuesday ones, so I'm going to go with him. You know, I can rest in the van on the way there. But I got like 3.5, 4 hours of sleep last night, and I'll probably realistically get about, well, no, we don't have to be up quite as early for this one because we reserved a spot at this one. So I'll probably get 6 hours-ish tonight. But it just wasn't enough time to rest last night. I woke up, all the days my ankles were puffy, and that one is really, really swollen where I dropped that damn metal cup on it. And again, it doesn't hurt to walk on. It hurts to touch. It hurts to accidentally hit it on something, and I did that earlier, and I swear it crossed my eyes and I saw stars. And Corey's right, I probably should get it checked out because it's really puffy, and I did that on Thursday. So I don't really know if I can show y'all good. Well, I can't. I'd flip myself backwards. But it's a big puffy place. And that's kind of specifically around the ankle bone on the inside of my foot. But both my ankles are a little bit swollen. It's noticeable. My feet are a little bit swollen. It's noticeable. It's not uncommon, especially when you haven't stood like that in a while or walked around like that in a while. I expected my way in to be bad, and it wasn't great. And as my body gets used to it, it's not as bad. I will retain some water on the weekends or some fluid from standing and walking so much in my feet and legs and stuff like that. But you guys know how that works. If you're standing or sitting for too long, either one can do that to you. Plus, I started my lady issues today. But now, while I was keto all weekend, I finally got BK, Burger King. For those of you who don't know, I had a double Whopper with cheese, no bacon. I felt fine, of course. Oh, I'll tell you about it in a minute. But, well, no, let me tell you about this first. So, I like the people I work with. It seems to be a drama-free zone. They've been working together at least 8 months. The one that's the most recent hire has been there for 8 months. And they all seem to get along really well. It doesn't seem to be a dramatic place. I like it. I really, really like it. It's none of that middle school nonsense, where grown-ass people shouldn't be acting like that. These people are really, really good. At least they seem that way. New to it, but they're very kind, very sweet, very talkative, happy to show you something, happy to share it with you. And the little girl I was working with the most, I don't mean to call her a little girl. I've learned that I cannot judge age. She's got an 8-year-old, so she's clearly not a little girl. I can't judge age anymore. I've gotten to that point where you might be 20, you might be 35. Hell, I don't know, sweetheart. But and I can't tell any one of them's age at all. I couldn't tell you for any kind of specific area what their age ranges are. None of them are particularly old. None of them look 12. Me and her are about the height of a 12-year-old. You know how that works. But anyway, the little girl, the young lady I was working with this weekend, for the most part, the supervisor had her show me the ropes of this little area, and I think I've got that pretty good, or a basic understanding of it anyway, and not bad for 2 days and an hour, because that first day was mostly book work and training and tests and all that. So I don't know when I'll be certified or anything like that, because of course a couple people will be out on key days, but I was working with her. She has a thing, and she called it her thing. She likes to bring coffee on Fridays. She also ordered coffee on Saturday and Sunday. She included me. Y'all, she bought Dunkin'. She bought Dunkin'. Okay. She had it DoorDashed to her car at break time, and that was pretty awesome. And she asked me what kind of coffee I wanted. And I started to say no, but I really, really wanted iced coffee, and she was doing it for everybody, and she wanted to do it. And I told her, you don't have to. She said, I know, I enjoy it. This is my thing. I was like, okay, this is her thing. And I told her, unsweetened vanilla, French vanilla, stevia, and coconut milk. I hope that's not too expensive. I don't even remember, how long it's been since I've been to Dunkin'. I think it's like $4 or $5. But, like I said, she bought it for everybody, so not just me. But I felt a little guilty because basically a stranger being kind and including me, and I couldn't give anything back. But it was so sweet of her. She bought them on Saturday. I was so thrilled because it was so good. And then Sunday at break time, she goes, "Coffee's here, come on." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And she had bought it without even telling me. And I was like, "Oh my God, she's such a sweetheart." And they're all very nice. I don't know why I want to call him a little supervisor. He's not a little guy, not a big guy, but they're younger than me. And children, anybody younger than me, if they're around about my son's age, it's a kid to me. But I don't even know if they're that age. Anyway, I just thought it was very, very sweet of her, and I kind of wanted to include that in the video because that was just awesome. And it's her thing. She likes to do it, and I'm like, I told her, I said, "Girl, you know you're my new best friend, right?" And she might actually be. So she had to leave early on Sunday. She's like, "You're coming next weekend, right?" I was like, "Yeah." Oh, good. And she's like, you really are though, right? And I'm like, "Yeah." And I guess, I don't know if they have a turnover rate. I don't even know if anybody's been in that spot at all. I don't even know if it was a spot that they just needed a little extra help. So, I don't know the whole dynamic there, but she actually seemed to genuinely want me to come back. And that makes me happy. Because, it's always something somewhere, but I was happy there as far as the people and environment, except for the heat. Not gonna lie, you walk in that place, it's 92 degrees. At 6 a.m., you instantly start sweating. And all I've done for the past 3 months is sweat and freeze to death, because you get out there, wherever you're at, or in that building, or wherever you're at, and you just burn your ass up. You sweat, you're miserable. You come home, you get all the sweat off of you, you sit in front of the AC, and you're like, it's cold. Sorry, can't win, but I was very happy with it. And Sunday, my husband said, "Guess what?" I said, "What?" He said, "I made BK money." As in I can have a Whopper with cheese with no bacon. With bacon, with no bun. Which made me very happy. So I've done keto reasonably well, all this time. But now let's get to the big part. I'm actually already 18 minutes in, but it's not 40, and I'm not doing the Jim Carrey version. So I do need something to drink on. Alright, so yeah, what was I talking about? Oh, the big scary. So today my husband stepped on a scale. He's actually lost about 25 pounds. Which is good for him, it's great. But I was thinking, okay, for the first time in a long time, there's every chance I could weigh more than him. He was doing keto at one time, and he dropped really fast, really quickly, because men have that whole different metabolism than we do. Their weight can drop off like that. Ours is a little slower going, but sorry. I ate a ham and cheese sandwich too. Y'all were paused. You didn't even know I was going. On keto bread. We'll find out if that keto bread is keto tomorrow. Well, anyway, because I weighed this afternoon, so we'll see. But he got on the scale, and I was thinking, oh, for the first time in a long time. Now, understand this. It's not a competition. That's not the point. It's just that for the first 25 years of our marriage, I was a lot bigger than him. He weighed about 150 pounds at 5'10", 5'11". I weighed almost 300 pounds at 5 foot tall. So for many, many years, I was so much bigger than him. And it finally was nice to be smaller than him for a change and to be able to wear his t-shirts and run around, with long t-shirts on. But through here recently, my own personal weight gain over the last several months, injured ankle, swollen feet, PMS, and lack of sleep, I was thinking, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Here's the boom. Here it is. It wasn't quite there, but it's pretty close. He stepped on the scale, it was like 192. He got up to 215-ish, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, he lost 25 pounds. But I was still 188. I'm edging up. Even though I come down a couple pounds, I edge back up. And it just keeps getting worse. Now, again, I've got to be a little bit lenient with myself. And I keep saying that. But my entire situation recently has been stressful, eventful, somewhat difficult. A lot of, just various issues. So I've got to be a little lenient with myself, or I'll drive myself nuts, you know what I mean? Or I'll hurt my own feelings. But it was close. So it does not make me happy. But again, it's not a competition. It's not about that. It's just about I've gained. And it made me fearful to step on the scale. But it did. And that 188 was this afternoon, though. So it was probably 185 or 6, because you can gain about 3 pounds during the day just in water weight fluctuations. But it did bother me. I was like, it doesn't bother me for him. I'm happy for him. It bothers me for the fact that I've let myself gain so much, because that's close to 190, and 190 is close to 200, and 200, it didn't take but a minute to get from 300 to 200. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this is the last thing I want to do. But hopefully now I can actually afford more nutritious meals. Thank heavens. Yeah. It's the little things. I mean, other than being able to pay your bills on the regular and get gas when you need to, it's little things you don't even realize you miss so much until it's like right there on the edge. Because of like everything. I'm tired and sore for, what the hell was that? Oh, I think it was a big ass skeeter. Not real sure. For a second there I thought it was something wholly different. But because I'm tired and sore, all I want is like an Epsom salt bath. I don't get paid till Friday though. So I can't get that until after I get off work Friday. And I miss it so much. It may be like a $2 box of Calgon. If I've got enough money to pay at least one bill that I need to pay. Because this paycheck will not be for the entire weekend. It'll be just for Friday and Saturday, I believe. Depends on what time their time goes in. But through a temp service, they don't hold you a week back. You get it the next week. So, it just depends on what time their time goes in. But if I've got enough, I can't wait to get a bag of Epsom salt to relax and hopefully de-stress and get some of the swelling off my ankles through all that wonderful magnesium. I just can't wait. It's the little things like paper plates. I can't wait to be able to afford paper plates. I hate washing real plates. If you know me, I threw away 3 plates today because I'm not washing them. But and they're not good plates or anything. They're just some that just always seem to be in the sink. It's like, you know what? If I don't got them, I don't gotta wash them. I don't even care. They're nothing special. Trust me. They're just old plastic things that's been hanging around. But I am feeling blessed and grateful to know that soon I will be able to afford some freaking paper plates. I don't even care. I don't even care if they're the good ones. I don't care if they're the styrofoam. I really don't care about the styrofoam. But I don't even care if they're the cheap, flimsy paper plates. I don't care. So I don't got to wash them. And of course, I do need some laundry detergent and dish detergent, stuff like that. Stuff that's going to suck up whatever is left of my paycheck. But I'm just feeling blessed that I'll be able to get it soon. That's it. I'm feeling blessed that maybe in a week or so I can pay my car payment on time for a change. Here recently, I always paid my car payment a week or two early. Always. I always paid an extra. My car payment's $370. Yeah, I know it's too much, and I didn't mean to do that, but I did it because I had a good job at the time and it seemed fine. But anyway, car payment's $370. I always gave $380 or $400 to try to pay it off a little bit faster, and I always paid it a week or two early to help out. But last month, I had to do like a deferment thing, and which is okay because it put me on it being due the 1st, and I got a job just in the nick of time. So I'm very happy about that. But I am just so happy that I'll be able to catch some bills up, pay something on time for a change here lately, and busted to have some salt and paper plates. I don't even want much right now. I don't even care. Just so I can do a few things that, what's that text? I don't know what that is. I'm just thrilled. I'm thrilled. I can't even express how thrilled I am. And you know what? Maybe even soon down the road, I'll be able to two, or get one too, or this will pick up, whatever. I don't care. But maybe I'll have Dunkin' money again. I know. But like I said, it's the little things you miss. Like if you just happen to want a coffee, being able to stop and freaking get one. And don't get me wrong, guys. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know that you've all either been in this situation or you are in this situation, and it sucks. You learn to live with it. You tweak things. You buy the cheapest stuff, and you end up not getting the shampoo and conditioner you like. By the way, a couple of you mentioned the other day to try Dawn dish soap on my hair, and I was like, I don't know, but I did try it. I like it. I do. It does take out all the gunk and the buildup. I really do. I mean, don't go by my hair right now, because all I've done today was sweat my ass off since like 6 o'clock this morning. But I'm cold now. My toes are freezing because the AC's on, and I've been hot for a month or two. But it does help a whole lot. My hair has been much fluffier and thicker looking. It's not really thicker looking. It's just cleaner and not glued to my head, from whatever the hell's in the shampoos and conditioners. I don't know if it's good for your hair. I don't know if it's good to use all the time. I can't promise any of you any of that. I can just say that I used it twice, and I like the way it feels. It does clean it out very good. So, and maybe I'm washing away naturals. And you know what? We're not going to get into the debate. I used it. I liked it. The end. That's it. Try it. I don't care. That's your head. But I do want to pass that little information on, because if you're having issues with this oily or where it feels like that where it feels like hay or straw, it's from buildup in general, from shampoos and conditioners, and sometimes you need something to get all that crap out with. So yeah, just wanted to pass that little information on. So been doing keto, dirty keto. Well, mostly dirty keto, because those sandwiches, this keto bread, again, can't promise you it's keto, can't promise you can lose weight on it, not promising you anything, just simply saying that's what I'm trying right now. Whether it works or not down the road, I do not know. But that's it. That's where I'm sitting. 188. Not thrilled with it. Too damn close to 200, and 200 is too damn close to 300, and I worked way too hard to have any of that. But it is what it is right now. This is where I'm sitting. This is what I've done to myself, partially, quite a bit actually. It's what I've done to myself for the most part, because I sure as hell wouldn't have went from 156 to 188. Ow. Sorry, I hurt myself. Well, I hit something that was already injured. But I wouldn't have went from 156 to 188 simply because my ankles were a little swollen, or I injured my ankle. So a lot of it was poor food choices, pure weight gain. That's it. There is some of it, though. Of course, right now it's fluid. But it's frustrating, irritating. But it's getting better. It's getting better. I get Epsom salt when I get off work Friday. just stop by Dollar General. As long as the power don't go out from a damn another storm. Hold that. I can't even tell you. I mean, if you've ever had that experience, you know how frustrating it is. But to get off work and be so covered in grit, goo, and your own sticky, and then be denied a bath for hours. It's freaking miserable. It really was. Yeah, it's over though. That part's over. My first weekend at work is over. So I'm on my way to learning things and hopefully doing a good job. I can't say I have yet. I've done a lot of cleaning. I've helped out a lot. I've moved around some stuff. I've learned a few things. I've driven around in circles, on a forklift with supervision. And it is cool that we can take Bluetooth speakers up there. Partially because the building is so huge, most of the time you're kind of isolated. And I guess they didn't want to leave you to your own device. But I really, really enjoyed being able to listen to music. That's so great. So great. Luckily, Corey had just happened to bought her a couple of Bluetooth speakers. So she loaned me one. Well, she actually loaned me both of them. I used it at the flea market today, too. I'm killing the hell out of my phone. I need to shut up. Look. I almost got another 40-minute video. Y'all, I love y'all. It's the little things. It's the little things. Much love. Many prayers. Let me know how you're doing below. Bye, y'all.